Poised for Success, and today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about shooting video for online titling submission. And my focus today is going to be on what's in the picture. Back when I was in high school, now quite a while ago, I took a photography class, and I'll never forget a certain saying that my photography teacher used to say over and over and over. The difference between a photograph and a snapshot is pre-planning. And then, of course, as students in photography class, we learned what kind of things to take into consideration when we were doing that pre-planning. The lighting, what's in the picture, things of that nature. Well, the same thing holds true when you're shooting video clips for video titling submission, or even if you just want to take a good video of you and your dog performing for sharing and memory purposes. The very first thing that you want to think about is what's in the picture. Now, there are several steps that you can take to go about this in an effective way. The first is to take a test shot before you actually film your clip with your dog. So, start your camera, move into the space where you'll be performing with your dog, and then carry out a practice performance. If you're doing parkour, your dog could do an interaction with the EF that you're working with. If you're doing freestyle, you could carry out a small sequence or a series of moves. Move around the little space that you plan to perform so that you can see what it's going to look like. Give your dog a little bit of a break and take a look at your sample video. You'll see if you ended up cutting your head off, or the dog wasn't visible in the shot, or if you moved in and out of the picture. Another step that I usually take before I start filming anything is to stand behind my camera or device when it's on the tripod, set it to the video setting, because sometimes that gets compressed beyond what you see when the camera's just sitting there turned on, and I look at the picture that I see through the device and I make note of things in the picture that will tell me how my dog and I are going to look moving around in that space. For example, if I were looking to shoot in this space right here, I could use the dog printed on this ribbon as an indicator as to whether or not my whole face is going to show up in this video picture. If when I'm setting my camera, it cuts off down here, I'm going to know that I'm going to be cutting a good part of my head off. When I'm filming outdoors, I use things in the background such as trees, shrubs, poles, anything that I can kind of get a gauge on my own height. And then for width, I can do the same thing. I could say, well, if in my camera I can see the edge of this window and I can see this doorknob, I know my dog and I are going to be in this picture. I also try to set up so that I'm not going to go out of the picture. And I'll do that using landmarks. So I know I'm not going to go any further back for this than this branch here. So I can check what I have in my camera. I see I have all of that shrub. So I don't need to worry about it. I'm going to be in the picture. Okay, buddy. Ready? Out. Yeah, good boy. Out. Yes. Nice job. The third consideration that I always have at the top of my planning list when I'm going to be filming video for video titling submissions is, will my dog show up demonstrating enough of the behavior that we are performing. I want to make sure that I'm going to allow for my dog to show up in the picture. That might not be possible 100%, especially in freestyle. You and your dog are moving around together. Sometimes your dog is going to cut behind you briefly, or you might kind of land in front of your dog. Your dog might be in heel or side position, and you loop around, and the dog isn't optimally visible for a few seconds. But I'm looking for my dog to be visible in the camera shot the vast majority of the time. So I'm always trying to set things up, especially in parkour, either with myself in the back of the picture, my dog in the front, and then the camera, or myself, my dog, the camera. I never want to set up the interaction where my back is going to be to the camera and my dog is performing where it's just not visible to the camera. Freestyle is a little bit trickier because the dog and handler do a lot more motion. But it is still possible with planning and practice to focus on always featuring the movement of the dog at the same time that you and your dog are showing up as a team. Under. Yes, good job. Right, spin, leg. Nice job, good boy. And one more thing. I really want to emphasize, especially for those of you who are just getting started with shooting video for titling submission. You and your dog are a team. You and your dog both need to show up in the video clip to the fullest extent possible. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people who are new to shooting video with their dog making is they focus the camera in on the dog, and then all you see are hands coming in and out of the picture, or the top of the person is chopped off entirely. And for freestyle, that's not going to make a very attractive picture. You and your dog are working together as a team. It might be the case that you accidentally pop in and out of the video for a couple seconds. That's okay. But you don't want to set up your clips in a way where you only see the dog and, you know, maybe a pair of legs and some occasional hands coming in and out of the picture. That's not an attractive picture, and it's not likely to be acceptable from a performance standpoint for a titling organization. Always read the rules of the titling organization. If it's allowed, you can go with whatever you want. But most titling organizations are going to want to see the dog and handler performing as a team. Trust me, you look great. And the more you work on camera, the more you appear on camera, the more comfortable you will get with it. Spin, leg. Good boy, nice. Spin, leg, spin. Nice job, good. Go through. Yay, good job, Dean Dog. Nice. And out. Good job, nice. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to ask in the comments below or on the Poised for Success Freestyle Facebook group. And I look forward to seeing you next time.